putting pennies in a vase after the wedding. I promise to the lilies now lowering themselves with frequent aging, you may brighten. I promise you too that you may let vivacity arrive yet. Your songs have been good this week, though they happen without me. I have listened, and in the process of knowing you, I have comforted myself in silence. Or I would have, had I not discussed with you this discomfort with you. Would that I were a flower, a cliché, and could no longer preach. Grant me this on our next walk, as we are humming together. Respite from talking, overused damages, the bill of someone else's failed love, gossip as it stays the night over. You as much as anyone are at the mercy of language, my God, in my nest of thoughts, at the apex of my breaking, I don't have you or any friendship. Every car pledges a turn like a wing toward the south, while at the bus stop, mosquitoes tell this young one to go to church. But I promise you, I did no talking. I braved and I isolated. I, like the poet, admired the trees, so durable. This club is a pond, nothing moving, not even the dancers. I keep my eyes closed. No one can see me but for my moving. I've settled some debts tonight. I can put myself to sleep, and my ego lays down with me. Thursday. Smoke a spliff and write in a yellow notebook. I'm overwhelmed by the most basic sensations. Someone else's anger, the dimming afternoon. Light obsesses me. I make a plea here. If you don't, pray you must be missing something. Or else, how was anyone convinced of language, the unquestionable perfection of our communicating? Something larger, like poetry. But I still have to ask, do you agree? And whether the ego prays or the hands themselves with themselves? In other words, what spell do I have to phrase to get your attention? One has to learn intentions, to the mutable future, to grimace with two faces. And hasn't gesture gained enough for its image lately? I dance with my arms closed, my head on an anchor that suits me. You watch. I would like to remind you, you still have eyes with which to pray. If one, not another side, gets communicated, the exposed seems of a flint edge. I say even half of truth is truth, and many people have the same name. Words are just that, the same immaterial thing for many material things. I wish explanation sufficed, when to tell you to look at the trees. It's more that I love you, and the trees are shown by God to me in your presence. And when you aren't there, they look like trees, but their image lends me the sight of my walking alone when one gets to be too easily a child in the weak light of morning under trees that I want to name by you. I, like the spire and the balm undetonated. This is the first time today I can be in the studio. Before I was clothed in his gestures, his music, trees to cue the storm and rain, crossing the bridge, the moon opening, columns, my Greek thighs, androgynous plumage. Well, thank God for running out of drugs sometimes. I'm thinking about Mexican candles as I do laundry. The red ones Chloe suggested would be nice against the blue walls, all my black clothes weaving between the colors of the jackets Lucy abandoned to me. Even if we weren't really friends, there is a comfort in knowing the previous resident's style by what she left, and whose space you are making yours, in place of her absence, where I am. This room is pleasing like an echo. I am absent somewhere, too, and I still hear the park and its blankets, where we sat on square patches of grass under the blanket from above. And we are not alone in the vacancies. The space contracts into something visual, designed by impulse to bed down with something warm and wrapping in case it rains, when the sky is also a net above us. All of my clothes accent the walls. Lucy and I have a few good photos together on Instagram, and today I was called trendy, mostly in relation to who appears in relation to me. I try to explain it probably isn't my style anyone likes. It's just that in being a part of a body of a city, at some joint, a place knows you. You can rely on it. It is edged with expectation and people to follow because they are already following you. Honestly, I tell Sam, all I care about is how things look together. I just want to look at things together.